14th of January, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Hashavua with Rashi Shemos.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay, I wasn't here yesterday. Where did we get to?
We got to Pasuk Yud Gimel. He did Pasuk Yud Base. We got up to Pasuk Yud Gimel.
Yud Gimel. Okay. So let's see. Yud Gimel is Vayia Vidu.
Avidu.
Vaya Avidu. Mitzrayim es b'nei Yisrael b'farecha. B'farech.
Okay.
So let's see. The Egyptians enslaved the children of Israel with crushing labor.
Okay.
With crushing labor.
Rashi says means
Voda kasha, hard work. I'm sorry, ha-mifareches es haguf, that crushes the body. Shabarto, and breaks it.
Yeah.
Okay, 14. Yud Daled. Vayimararu es chayehem ba'avoda kasha bechomer uvilvenim uvechol avoda basadeh es kol avodasam asher avdu vahem bifanecha. Bifarech, same word.
Okay.
So let's see, that's 14. They embittered their lives with hard work, with mortar, and with bricks, and with every labor of the field.
That's all agricultural labor. Okay.
All their labors that they performed with them was crushing labor.
Yeah. Let me see how I translated it.
Rashi, there's no Rashi on 14.
Yeah, just 1 second. I want to check something out over here. I'm opening up. Just 1 second. Just opening up my English translation. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Okay, that's how I translate. All the which the Egyptians subjected them to do arduously. Okay, let's go on to the next pasuk. So this was the first till now, that was basically what 13 and 14 is, that the Jewish people were subject to backbreaking labor. Now, here now comes another stage of the golus, or the servitude. Vayomer Melech Mitzrayim. Hello? You with me? Yeah.
I'm
Continue.
trying to ask you a question.
Yeah, I didn't hear. Sorry.
So it seems to me that the word mortar is not appropriate in this sentence because I understand bricks. Bricks is hard work to move bricks around, but mortar actually makes it easier.
But they had to make the mortar.
Right, but making mortar is easy. And having mortar with bricks makes it easier to lay the bricks.
That's true. There's no point in really laying the bricks without the mortar because it's not going to stick otherwise. But you find at the end of the Parsha, that this was one of the major things that they had to provide. They had to go and find their own resources to make the mortar.
I thought it was the bricks. They had to find their own straw to make the bricks.
Not just the bricks, but yeah.
Mortar is made with sand.
Yeah, but you see, they had to look for straw. What was the point of the straw?
I presume that that's needed in the production of bricks, but I don't know. Actually, I don't really know what straw has to do with anything.
You're right. The bricks were made from the straw. They got to find their own resources to find straw to make the bricks. But the amount of bricks it's going to have to is the same.
Yeah.
It says, Rashi says in chapter 5, Pasuk 7, Teven is stublo, it's stubble, straw. How you goivlim oiso im hatit. They would knead it together with the cement, with the clay rather. Tit is better, clay.
Mortar.
Sorry?
It sounds like mortar more than bricks.
Is that how they would make? I don't know.
I believe bricks are made out of clay.
Yes, a tit is clay. That's right. So they would need the straw with the clay to make the bricks.
Oh, okay.
Rashi says, levanim, which are bricks, she'oisim mitit umiyabshim oisam b'chama, yesh esofen oisam b'kivshan. There's some fired in a furnace.
Right. Okay. Weiter.
Okay, let's go. Weiter, yeah.
Mitzrayim lame yal dos ha'ivrios asher shem ha'achas shifra v'shem hashenis pua. The king of Egypt said to the Hebrew midwives, of whom the name of the first was Shifra, and the name of the second was Pua. Rashi says, Lamayal dos, hu lashon mo li dos. It has the same meaning as the word mo li dos.
Okay.
Those who assist a woman in childbirth.
Now, the word moili dos is a causative form, hifil form. Miyal dos, Rashi is going to explain, is the same meaning, but it's in a heavy conjugation, which means basically what was called a piel. It's a stronger form. Okay?
Okay.
Sheyesh loshen kal, yesh loshen koved.
Ella sheyesh lashon kal v'yesh lashon kaved. But there is a simple form and there is an intense form. Kamo she over umeshaber, such as breaks and shatters.
Right.
Dover umedaber, says and speaks. Kach molid
Dover is more like Dover is utters, means just the moving of the lips. Umedaber is actually speaking, articulating in speech. Okay? Kach, similar, you have moiled means to assist in birth. Umeyaled, it means to be an expert, being an expert birther, right? Yeah. So the term midwife, right? A midwife is not called a molida. She's called a mayaledes because it's like she's professional at causing birth. It's a much more intense, stronger form. That's what Rashi means here. Okay?
Shifra zu Yocheved. This is Yocheved. This is Yocheved. She is called Shifra. Al Shem Shemesha Peres Es Havalad. Because she beautifies the child at birth. Pua.
Beautified is the right word. I would say she improves the state of the child. The Gemara says that's a whole thing that when after a child is born, the midwife sets the limbs in place because as a result of the birth, sometimes the limbs can get out of joint. So this is what she did. She it's called whatever it's the name for it in English. I don't remember what it's called. Setting the limbs in place. Okay.
Okay. Pua. Zo Miriam. This is Miriam. She is called Pua. Al Shem Shepua da Beres V'Hoga Lavalad. Because she cries and speaks and coos to the child.
Yeah. So Poya doesn't mean really cry. It means well, Hoiga means to coo. Shepoya means like sue, even though I don't have my translation handy. It means to like she calms the baby by like making baby sounds, like it's cooing, right? Basically. In the way of women who I say mephises, who calm a child that is crying, a crying baby. Yeah?
Lashon Te'aka. The name Pua is an expression of crying out. Kamo Kiyoleda Efe. Like the word Efe in the verse, I will cry out like a woman in childbirth.
Right.
Okay.
Time you were in the delivery room, but Lamaisa, sometimes some women or whatever are like, I wouldn't say it's blood curdling, but it's certainly how do you call it? I think sometimes when women should cry out in childbirth, it can be pretty
Disconcerting.
yes, I think that's the right word. Okay, now,
Vayer be
okay.
ledchem es ha-ivrios ore I sen al ha'avnayim im bain hu naha miten vaha miten oso ve'im bas hi vachaya. He said, in your assisting the Hebrew women at childbirth, and you see on the birth stool, if it is a son, you are to kill him, and if it is a daughter, she shall live. Bia ledchen, kamo beholidchen. It's like the word beholidchen, when you assist in childbirth. Al ha'avnayim, moshav ha'isha v'holedes.
Yoledes.
Holedes.
Ha-yoledes. That's how I have it. Moshav Isha ha-yoledes.
Ha-yoledes. The woman sits during birth.
Moshav is a noun. It's the stool. It's the seat of a woman who gives birth. Ayin, otherwise known as a birth stool. Avnoim is the meaning of the word avnoim means a birth stool.
A birth stool. Uve makom acher kor'o mashber. And elsewhere, it's called a mashber. V'chamohu, similar to it, oseh melacha al ha'avnayim, doing work over the settings.
So al avnoim. So again, somebody does work al avnoim upon the stool, but it means a special moishav kli umnes yoytze cheres. It's the what do you call it? The special wheel, which the potter's wheel. Okay, that means it's a special seat for the person who, for the potter, person who creates earthenware vessels. So when he takes the clay and he shapes it into the various vessels, earthenware vessels, he does that on this special wheel. Okay?
Bain hu migomer. Vigomer. Lo haya makpid ella al hazecharim. He was concerned only about the males. She'amru lo itz tag ni nav, that his astrologers told him, she'asid lehivaled bain, that a boy was destined to be born, Ha-Moshiach Osam, who would save Israel.
Right.
V'chaya, v'tzichya, and she shall live.
What Rashi is pointing out is that this is it's a feminine form, right? Not he lived. Okay, you can use the term chaya means he lived, but here it means v'chaya, she will live. She will live.
So how do we understand this? We see this discussion in the story of Mitzrayim, of the astrologers and the magicians. How do we understand that these people had all this power? They were idol worshippers. We usually say the idols have no power.
So if you have to understand, they had the ability to use koiches hatuma. Now, this is something, a subject which is I know very little about, but the Chazal say that the HaKadosh Baruch Hu allowed for certain forces in creation to be misused. So to say that even though they were idol worshippers, right, they could still use astrological powers. They knew what they were well versed in astrology, right? Which, despite the fact that they were idol worshippers, nevertheless they could. Kosh Baruch Hu allowed them to be able to delve into astrology and have a knowledge, proper knowledge of astrology, to know how the different stars and different constellations have a bearing on a person's life, what they indicate, etc.
And how
This is
all this?
it's like a, you're going to say a guy is he does totally immoral, right? But he knows science backwards. It's the same idea. Albeit astrology is a little bit of a different, more spiritual level than physics, let's say. But on the other hand, Kosh Baruch Hu does allow I don't want to call it a simple science, because it's more than that. But it's something. It's a level of knowledge which is on a. One doesn't have to be a prophet or somebody of high level to be able to know this the intricacies of astrology. They were able to achieve a level of knowledge of astrology despite the fact that they were so involved in Avodah Zarah. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, let's do
17.
Vatireno. Hello?
Vatireha.
Vatireno. Okay.
Vatirena. Hame Yaldos es ha Elohim velo asu kaasher diber alehen melech Mitzrayim vatichayena es hayaladot.
It's Hayela.
Hayaladom.
Hayeladim.
Hayeladim. But the midwives feared Hashem, and they did not do as the king of Egypt spoke to them, and they kept the boys alive.
Right. Okay.
Rashi says, "Vatechayena es hayeladim." Mis misapekos lahem mayim umazon. They supplied them with water and food.
Right. Because Rashi's pointing out, it wasn't just they left them alive. They actually, also about the chayena means they kept them alive.
Right. Targum ha-rishon.
For this, well, the continuation of Rashi, we have to see the next pasuk. Okay?
Oh.
In fact, in my edition of the Rashi, which I don't have, for some reason, I don't know, it actually, I have this on pasuk, the next part of the Rashi is on pasuk 18.
Okay. Melech Mitzrayim lame yalados vayomer lahem madua asisen hadavar hazeh vatechayena es hayeladim. The king of Egypt summoned the midwives and said to them, "Why have you done this thing, that you have kept the boys alive?"
Now, note over here, you have exactly the same phrase. Vatechayena es hayeladim. Okay? Now, Rashi is going to point out they have two different meanings. Vatechayena in pasuk 17 is a third person feminine plural. Okay? And in pasuk Yud Ches, right, is Paro speaking to them, it's a second person feminine plural.
Okay.
Okay, this is basically what Rashi is going to go on about.
All right, so the first translation, Vikayama, they let live.
Right, means it's they, it's a third person. The Kayama,
Let live.
Kayima Yosbenaya. They kept the boys alive. Okay? And it's they. Okay? The Hasheni V'kayem tun. V'kayem tin. That's how I have it. You kept them alive.
Lefi shilashon of Ivris.
Ivri, yeah.
Because in the Hebrew language,
Right.
Lina Kevos Rabos, the feminine plural,
Right.
Teva Zu V'chayotze Ba. This word and others of like form,
Right.
Mishameshes Lashon Pa'alu, serve both as they did, i.e. third person plural past tense.
Right. And
Pi'altem, and you did, i.e. second person plural past tense.
right.
Tigon, for example, Vatomar na ish mitzri, and they said an Egyptian man. Vayom ru lischarim. I'm sorry, lashon avar Kamo vayomeru lis karim, which is in the past tense,
And it's equivalent
feminine equivalent of the masculine third person plural past tense,
which is vayomru.
vayomru. It's the third person plural past tense of amar,
Right.
to say, meaning he said.
They said. They, vayomru, they
Said. They masculine. Those men said.
The feminine equivalent is vatomarna. They said, but that is okay.
Befichem.
Now the next example is vatidaberna befichem.
I have lashon dibartem.
Now this is a second person. You spoke.
Kamo vatidabru lis charim is the feminine equivalent of the masculine vatidabru, second person plural, past tense, of davar, to speak. V'chein, similarly, vatechalele na osi el ami. Similarly, the feminine form vatechalele na in the phrase "and you profaned me to my people."
Yeah, and it's a lashon.
Lashon avar
Chilalten.
Hilaltem. It's the past tense second person plural of halal, to profane.
Halel with a ches. Okay.
Halal. Kamo vatechalalu lis karim. It's like the feminine equivalent of the masculine vatechalalu, second person plural past tense of to profane.
Right. Okay, so Rashi is just pointing out you can have the second person plural, feminine plural, and the third person feminine plural can be exactly the same word. Just by context, you'll know if it's second person or third person.
Right.
Okay, I think we'll hold it here. Okay, so we got up to Pasuk Yud Tes.
Okay, see you tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem.
Have a great day. Be well.